Hello people of the verse and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in today's video we are going to talk about some of the features, actually pretty much we're going to do a recap of the features that have been taken off the roadmap throughout the years. This is a video that was inspired by Shoei. He posted a post on Spectrum. I'll put the link in the description down below if you want to check it out, and I thought that this would make a very interesting video, so shout out to Shoei for putting this up together. So let's talk about it, but before that, guys, let's remember this month we've got an exceptional giveaway. First, thanks to Buzz69, we are giving away a Nisperia Talent Shrike with lifetime insurance, and on top of that I am also giving away a package that includes a Cutlass Black and a Rock. All of that will LTI as well, so we're gonna have two winners. All you have to do to catch some winning is to make sure that you have a public subscriber of this channel and comment to any Star Citizen related videos. This month the winner will be announced early October. Alright guys, so let's get started. We have a very interesting breakdown of all of the features that have been temporarily removed from the roadmap, and this is as of September 2020. Again, shout out to Shoei in Spectrum for putting this out together, and we'll start with Eddie Parr. Eddie Parr, who was supposed to be the mission giver that we should have had in Markotech. Unfortunately, here, according to CIG, it appears that the release of the bartender functionality with Alpha 3.10 requires additional functionality as a mission giver, and basically this has been deprioritized. I'm not surprised. I think that mission givers need to be reworked. Right now, mission givers are not so interesting. First, it takes a long time to get to see them. You gotta go to landing zones, you have to walk a long time, and the payout is not fantastic, so it's not interesting to see them because you can make more money by doing more things. The missions that they give are also not that interesting as well. I'm thinking of Constantine Hurston or maybe Rico Battaglia. These are same missions that you would have in the regular mission tab, so that's not interesting. The only people who do have interesting missions would be Ticha Pacheco, and as well as maybe Clovis Downerly as well with the down satellite mission, but some other missions are just generic missions, are not interesting at all. So that's why they probably want to also rework missions as well first before giving us new mission givers. Next we have dockings. And here they said certain scheduled work took more time than expecting on tasks associated with this card, and additional work was identified by the team during the initial Q3 planning, which pushed docking past the cutoff date for 3.11 until we can solidify docking's place in a future update. We've removed this card from the roadmap. We have seen some docking in the last Inside Star Citizen. It is looking very good, and I am sure that we will have docking in 2021. Expect this one to be coming back very soon. Next, we have social AI improvements. All non-combat AI behavior, such as bartenders, shopkeepers, tour security, vagrants, and more, will have an improvement. This is also desperately needed. I believe that we are going to have to wait until Quanta so that this comes into place. Next, in-game orgs and reputation system. We know that this is not going to come until we have iCache. Why do we need iCache? iCache is going to store into database or reputation system that is also going to persist when we are going to have new patches. So that means that if you have a good reputation with certain criminal activities or with the law-abiding organizations, this is going to persist patch after patch, and 30k errors after 30k errors as well, meaning that you are not going to have to do the base missions when there is a new patch. That is when I believe the in-game org and reputation system is going to come. We have the Halsey. The Halsey, we know that for the Halsey to come, we need to have iCache as well as new cargo grades, as well as the docking system. So there's a lot of new mechanisms and tech that need to be put here before the Halsey makes it into the game. After that, we have procedural asteroids. This card has since become fairly legacy, as it contained a lot of general subtasks that have since been duplicated into new tasks. I think that we're not going to see that anytime soon. Maybe by the time we have the Howard Arrow, which is like the big asteroid belt around the standard system, maybe we will have a new rework for asteroids. But I don't think that this should be a priority right now. NPC Improvements shopkeepers, after reevaluating priorities, the decision was made to temporarily remove these off the roadmap. Shopkeepers definitely need to have some improvements. We already have the bartender in the game. Right now, Star Citizen developers are working into integrating the behaviors, the substantiation technology brought for the bartenders for the other shopkeepers. I think that we should expect to have shopkeepers improvements in the future as well, maybe 2021. Cockpit experience, after reevaluating priorities, the decision was made to shift focus on previously mentioned camera improvements, blah, 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 blah. I think that right now, this was perhaps done with the new UI rework. Right now, the cockpits are, in my opinion, pretty satisfactory in Star Citizen, but maybe they want to add extra functionalities. I don't think that this one will ever come back. Next, PU, planetary weather effect. We know that right now the devs are also working on further storms, further weather effects, such as, for example, they want to have rain in the game as well, thunder. These are things that are going to eventually come to life when we are going to have more planets as well, so we should expect this to come back one day. It's obviously not a priority right now. All the priority is heading towards improving the servers. Next, Salvage V1. Salvage V1 is not going to come, unfortunately, I believe, until we also have iCache. We need to have iCache and perhaps also server meshing, because when we need all those ship parts that are when the ship is destroyed, all the parts are going to go are basically going to be freely available for players for the taking. That is a lot of entities, and it is too much workload for servers. Right now we need to have extra server technology for salvage to be possible in the game. That is going to take some time. The constellation Taurus, we need to have extra work on the constellation. The constellation is in dire need of a little bit of love right now. I think that they also want to have the ship-to-ship docking system, so that we finally have the Taurus in the game. CIG knows that the Taurus is one of the next Gibbonings. A lot of players are waiting for the Taurus because the Taurus is the cargo variant of the constellation with, if I am correct, 160 SU of cargo capacity. That is more than the Freelancer Max, which is the reason why this is a popular ship. The Drake Vulture is not going to come until we have salvage, so I think that both of them will be coming together. Next, we have the Crusader Hercules Starlifter. We know that right now Star Citizen devs are heavily working on Crusader Industries ships, including the Starlifter. We have seen a lot of work of the Starlifter inside Star Citizen. I think that this one will be coming at the same time as Horizon. That would be a good way to celebrate the completion of Horizon and Crusader Planet at the same time. Next, we have rest stop space stations unoccupied. In the light of the PU location priorities shifting to focus on ground locations instead of space locations, rest stop station unoccupied have been removed from the PU roadmap until for the time being, except this task to return when the team decides a new target for these tasks. I think that it would be perfect to bring back those unoccupied rest stop space stations when the Pyro system comes online. Why? Because we know that Pyro used to be less unlawful in the past, and then eventually it was abandoned by the UEE and corporations, but they were obviously space stations, one of them being, for example, Rune Station, which is obviously not occupied. It is occupied by criminals, but I think that we should expect to see a couple of other unoccupied rest stop stations throughout the Pyro system, because, well, it wasn't that unlawful and that unpopulated in the past, and that would be these would be great extra locations for people to hang around. Maybe they could be managed by orgs. That would be a fun thing to do. Next, a repair, refuel, restock kiosk. We desperately need that as well, especially we still have problems in the verse when we're going to pads and we're trying to refuel or repair. It doesn't work. So if we could have a kiosk, maybe that could work a little bit better, in my opinion. Next, commodity transfer timers. Following discussion, the decision was made to temporarily remove this from the card. They always say that, right? this is something that I hope is eventually going to come with the cargo decks. Only time will see, right? But I believe that this is kind of like a feature that was moved into a broader feature, which is in this case the whole cargo running profession rework. So this is where we should expect it to see the accounting app. Following discussion, the decision was made to remove this, same as before. They're basically copying and pasting this text. The accounting map is going to be able to tell us and track what we are buying and what we are selling. This is going to be also extremely important for traders. I hope that this is going to come in 2021, but we have no sign of it. It is probably going to be an extension of the player-to-player transaction that we are having right now, where this app that we are using to send money to other players. The devs did say that they want to build on that, so I wouldn't be surprised if in the future the accounting app will be integrated into that app. Economy display terminal, this is also very important, but for that we need to have Quanta. These are basically going to be those screens at TDDs that tell us in real time the price of commodities, so that we can know what to buy and where to buy. Dynamic mission systems, economic generated missions. This is something that we saw last year during CitizenCon. I really hope that during this year's Digital CitizenCon, Tony Z is going to tell us what progress has been done regarding Quanta, because this is also something that players are eagerly waiting for in the game right now. Next, we have NPC Improvements Civilians. I think that this is related to what we see before. This card is not going to come back in the future because it is basically the same as the other one. Multi-crew extended pilot role. This task is outdated because it does not accurately represent the whole work the team is need to complete, so we're not going to see that again as well. Same with a multi-crew expanded turret gunner role. They also say that this one is also outdated, so we are not going to see those tasks anymore. The door system improvements. This car has been deprioritized in favor of other work. I think that this is important because the door system improvements are going to allow us to unlock our ships, give special access to only certain types of players, and also at the same time we are going to have mechanisms that allow other players, maybe unlawful players, to break through those doors. This is a mechanism that is going to be really needed to improve, for example, piracy or security. Next, we have atmospheric combat. Atmospheric combat did occur a few times in previous patches, but that's because it was a bug when you have those random encounters, with NPCs. Sometimes they were also occurring in atmospheres, but that was not supposed to be happening. Atmospheric combat needs to be added on top of the new atmosphere flight system that we just had in Star Citizen Alpha 3.10. Next, zero-G push and pull. Following director discussions, priorities have changed and this car has been removed. Probably we will need that for Squadron 42, but it doesn't seem like they are working on it right now, so maybe this is going to come in Squadron 42 Chapter 2, we don't know, right? But is it really needed in the verse right now? Probably not. This one is not going to come back for a long time, in my opinion. Next, we have NPC healing. Same as before, this is not going to come anytime soon. Why? We don't have a need to heal NPCs. The only place where we could eventually heal NPCs would be the 890 jump mission, but it's really hard to say which NPC is a hostile and which NPC is a friendly in that mission. And on top of that, we have body dragging, so we could technically drag NPCs to the Cutlass Red to heal them, but it's just too much of a hassle if we don't have any missions or any environment apart from the 890 jump mission where this would be useful. Next, flight AI improvements and polishing. This one, unfortunately, has not been done. They say that the task expected to be placed for these guys have found home to be better suited in different cards. So they basically split that one into different ones. Bounty Hunter armor. Unfortunately, these armors really look fancy in concepts. They have not made their way into the verse. We have the mystery armor coming up in Star Citizen for 3.12. So maybe this is the Bounty Hunter armor. We shall see. QT linking for AI ships. Again, right now AIs are all basically pre-programmed for random encounters, but they actually don't go by their own business in the verse right now. So this is not going to come until, again, we have Quanta. Next, FPS combat behavior v2. And they've started working on that. We are going to get that a little bit in 3.11 as AIs are going to, for example, refill ammos. We've seen that as also they are now changing weapons. They don't just have the regular machine guns. They can have a shotgun now, for example. In the future, we should expect them to have to use also pistols, grenades, or maybe snipers. This is something that is going to take a longer time. Security system. The security system, they said that it was removed because they were working on the prison system. The security system is going to be needed so that we can get rid of the armistice zones. Nobody likes the armistice zones. They are horrible. They seriously hinder a major emergent gameplay in the verse. I hope that this will come as soon as possible, but I do believe that we need to have better working servers for these to happen. I mean, look at what servers do to AI right now. When you go to bunkers or security post carré, they're just not working at all. We need to have working AI thanks to servers that are working properly, and for that I am afraid that we are going to have to need server meshing. Next, Crusader Horizon and Horizon Landing Zone. We've seen a little bit of progress in a calling all devs a couple of weeks ago. This is going to take some time again because it is difficult to create a gas giant. I cannot think of any other game right now that has a fully explorable gas giant. This is going to be a world premiere when Cloud Imperium will eventually pull this off, but this is a major task that is taking a lot of time. Finally, this is a couple of we have a couple of tasks of cards left. The NPC scheduler. Oh my gosh, this one I really wanted to have this one in Star Citizen of 3. I think originally it was supposed to be for 3.9, right? Again, as time has passed, the work needed for this card has changed and grown, and the original approach for these tasks will be adjusted to accommodate those changes. I also believe that we need to have Quanta. Quanta is going to give NPCs the ability to figure out what they're going to have to do in the verse, and that is going to be their scheduler. 2. Shield system take replacement. This one has been temporarily removed, but we should expect it to come back probably, I would say, because this requires additional VFX work. I suppose that this is going to they're going to make shields look even better while using less resources, right? It is the same optimization process as we've seen for quite some time now. FPS realistic weapon handling. Again, this is probably going to require extra mocap, so that's probably why they have removed that from the roadmap, because we can't have any mocap right now. Plus, also at the same time, FPS at the current stage is currently satisfactory, so maybe they will decide to completely cancel that work eventually. FPS combat improvement and polishing. This was supposed to be coming in 3.11, and they said that they're going to have additional work for FPS combat. FPS AI needs a lot of work, because right now I think that my buddy DJ360 made a video about how stupid they are in Star Citizen for 3.10, and that is quite true. For example, they've added the ability for AI to take cover, and very often you just see AI hiding behind boxes and they just do nothing. They just stay there hiding, maybe hoping no one will shoot them. This is not good at all. We also have the missile operator mode, which is going to come when we have an entire missile rework, and the FPS multi-tool cutting attachment, which unfortunately was also scrapped. We need that because this is going to allow pirates to break in through doors. Maybe it is also going to allow people to do whatever task they have to do in Squadron 42 as well. I don't know about that, but that would kind of make sense. And let's not forget Theaters of War, which was supposed to come early this year, and it is missing in action, right? So these are all of the tasks, the cards from the roadmap that we've had since we have the roadmap that were removed, cancelled, or just delayed. Please tell me what you guys think. Which one do you miss the most? I think that we desperately need to have those NPCs work in the dynamic economy. Personally, as far as I'm concerned, that is what I'm looking forward the most to. But I'd like to know what you guys also want from those missing cards the most in the comments down below. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.